2 years ago, on a cold Friday night, I sat across from Emily, the woman I loved, waiting for her to pick between me and the party she had been buzzing about all week. I had planned a quiet evening, just the two of us, dinner at our favorite Italian restaurant, and maybe a walk along the river afterward. But when she walked into the room in a sparkling dress, makeup carefully done, and her phone buzzing with notifications from her friends, I already knew her answer. "Come on, Daniel," she had said with a playful roll of her eyes. "It's just one party. Everyone will be there. Can't we celebrate tomorrow instead?" I wanted to argue, to beg her to stay, but something inside me stopped. I realized this wasn't the first time she had chosen excitement over me, and it likely wouldn't be the last. I sat there in silence, watching her slip on her heels and blow me a careless kiss before leaving. That night, as the door closed behind her, I felt something inside me break. When she returned hours later, giggling and smelling like champagne and perfume, I was gone. No note, no confrontation. Just absence. I packed my bags and vanished from her world without a trace. For 2 years, I rebuilt myself from the ground up. I moved cities, poured myself into my career, and surrounded myself with people who valued me. Slowly, the ache faded, replaced by a calm strength. And though part of me still wondered about Emily, I promised myself never to go back. But fate has a strange sense of humor. 2 years later, I was attending a charity gala hosted by my firm. It was one of those grand events, chandeliers glowing, champagne glasses clinking, laughter echoing off marble walls. I was standing near the bar, engaged in easy conversation with a colleague, when I felt a shift in the air. A familiar voice floated across the room. I turned, and there she was. Emily. She looked almost the same, yet different. Her eyes were tired, her smile forced, as though life had worn down the shine she once carried. She spotted me, froze mid-laugh, and the glass in her hand trembled. For a moment, we just stared at each other, the weight of 2 years collapsing into a single heartbeat. "Daniel," she whispered when she finally approached. I nodded politely, offering no more than a calm, "Emily." She looked me over, perhaps noticing the changes. I was no longer the man who had begged for scraps of her attention. My shoulders were straighter, my smile confident, my presence grounded. She, on the other hand, seemed fragile, as though regret had hollowed her out. "I didn't think I'd ever see you again," she said, voice wavering. "I didn't think you'd care," I replied coolly. Her face crumpled, guilt flashing across it. "I do care. I've thought about you every single day." I let silence hang between us, sipping my drink. She shifted uncomfortably, then continued, "That night, when I left you for that stupid party, I didn't realize what I was throwing away. I thought you'd always be there, waiting. But when I came home and you were gone, her voice cracked. I've never forgiven myself." Her confession might have shattered me once, but now it barely scratched the surface. I had healed. "People show their priorities in the small choices," I said quietly. "That night, you showed me mine didn't matter to you." Tears welled in her eyes. She reached for my hand, but I pulled it back before she could touch me. "Daniel, please. I've changed. I would give anything to undo that night." I studied her for a long moment, the girl I once loved now standing before me in pieces. And for the first time, I felt nothing but pity. "You can't undo choices, Emily. You can only live with them." Her tears spilled over, her voice trembling. "So, that's it? You'll just walk away? After everything we had?" I met her gaze, steady and unflinching. "You walked away first. I just never came back." Her knees buckled as she tried to hold herself together in front of the glittering crowd. The confident woman who had once chosen parties and attention over me now stood broken, crumbling under the weight of her own regret. I set my glass down, gave her one last nod, and turned away. And as I walked out of the gala, I realized something. Sometimes the sweetest revenge isn't anger or bitterness, it's becoming the kind of person who no longer needs the one who once thought you weren't enough. And in that moment, I knew I had finally won.